question that people ask me is, why are you running? And I'm running to save the American dream. You've heard me say before that my grandparents imprinted on me three fundamental American values: self-reliance, independence, and personal responsibility. When you watch TV and you see the protests and the results of illegal immigration, it's not the country I recognize. It's not the country I grew up in. I don't think it's the country you grew up in. Our country has drifted so far from those three fundamental American values. It's time for a change. It's time for us to swing that pendulum from the left back to the right. When you saw President Trump speak to the joint session of Congress, you heard it, saw him grow into that role, and he outlined 22 promises. There's not a single one of those promises I disagree with, and I suspect there's not a single promise you disagree with. It's time to get behind our president. The American people want something different. They're tired of politics as usual. They're tired of the way business gets done in D.C. They want something different. They want an outsider. I've spent 30 years in business, been on the management team of multi-billion-dollar companies, and have a startup in Alpharetta. What you saw with the healthcare business is failure by the establishment. They resisted and are trying to thwart President Trump's agenda. Quite candidly, you're going to see that play out in this race in the 6th. And I am sure you guys have seen some of the ads, the attack ads on me. Make no mistake, that's a misrepresentation. Signs are not allowed in my neighborhood. Don't believe it. You're going to have a choice between establishment and outsider. And I suggest that's what it's going to boil down to. When all else was on the line, other than this man right here who's been carrying the baton for President Trump for a long, long time, I was the only candidate that was in the Trump headquarters making phone calls and working hard and doing the heavy lifting to get him elected. Everything else was on the line, and I'll point to one example, and that's the Supreme Court. If we didn't get President Trump elected and ensure that he could nominate the right kind of conservative justice, the firewall, the Supreme Court, was going to be lost. And I was the only candidate fighting hard in the trenches for our president, and very proud of that. Karen is right. This is going to come down to a choice, and we have got to prevent, how do you say it? Ass off? And the early voting results are disturbing. They are upside down. And it's time for us to change that and get out to vote early and make sure everybody gets out to vote on election day. I'm going to need your help. There's signs out there. If anybody wants to take them, and put them up in their yard. Thank you.